Hi everyone, are you worried about your stocks, your inventory? You feel you have excess stock? You feel you are losing? So ERPNext is the solution. In ERPNext, you will come to know how to manage your stocks in terms of stock transfers, physical stock count, valuation of your stocks, revaluation of your stocks, a proper way of having the stocks transferred from one place to the other place and transiting. So you can have also stock transit. Kindly watch the whole video to know how the stock management module works in ERPNext. Hi everyone, this is Quresh from Aqiq Solutions. We are back, and as promised, we are going to explain ERPNext, different modules, how it works. Just repeating in the beginning of each video that this is not a training on how to use ERPNext, but it is explaining what is ERPNext and the different functionalities covered in ERPNext. Okay, so we had earlier already published a few videos explaining who we are as Aqiq Solutions and how do we implement ERPNext for different organizations and different industries. Financial module we have already published, and different other modules you will find all the videos on YouTube and also on our website. So currently today we are going to start with the stock module, or we call it inventory management, and in some industries it's also called the warehouse management system. Okay, so let me log in now. I'll log in as administrator. So as an administrator I'll get full rights, but then once we implement a system for any company, then basically we give permissions to users. Example, a warehouse user will only get to see the stock module and what the warehouse user is allowed to do. Okay, so we are back to the stock module. Now when we come to the stock module here, okay, you will find again as every module has a simple dashboard, okay, something to give you a fair idea. Example, now here it shows you warehouse wise stock. So I have different warehouses, and it shows you the value of the stock I'm holding in each warehouse. Okay, this gives you a total value of the stock. Example, I have 204 million worth of stock in my organization, spread across 16 warehouses. Okay, and I have 139 items I'm dealing with. Now here when we deal with stock, okay, as I mentioned, stock basically in many organizations actually they call it in a different way. Some people will say it's a stock management, others will say it's an inventory management, and some people will say it's a warehouse management system. Okay, so let's not confuse ourselves. See, stock management, inventory management is the same. When we talk about warehouse management, it's a bit with an advanced functionality, okay, where people make the confusion. Warehouse management basically is again a stock management or inventory management, but some warehouses they store for other people. Okay, example, I am a company, I'm trading with items, I import, but I don't have my own warehouses, so I take my goods and I stock it with a third party. Okay, so that is called a 3PL, third party logistics. Okay, for me, if I'm storing with somebody else, for me I'm not a 3PL provider. The guy who is storing for us or for other vendors, it's called 3PL. So 3PL is again another system. Okay, we'll cover it later in other sessions, as we had done already a very successful 3PL implementation for one of the very big organizations here in Kenya. Okay, for their cold storage. So anyways, back to now inventory management or stock management or warehouse management system, the way you want to name it. So here if you see, when we talk about stock in ERPNext, the products are called items. Okay, so these are the item masters. we have the item master or the product master. We have the item group, where we are going to classify the items into different groups, okay, based on its types. We have something called product bundle. I'll come to it. Let's first see the item. So if I click on item, again in ERP you can also search here. So if I go and say item list, okay, so it will bring me this. There is a filter over here which I'll remove, so it shows me all the items here. So you see, this is how I define an item. Example, there's one item. Let me pick one item, this CT scan machine, which I have defined later. You will find this is an item which has been defined with an uploaded photo of the CT scan machine. So it has the item name, the item group. I can classify the group the way I need. It has different elements of the item, so you can also define the color, you can define the unit of measurement. ERPNext by default gives you a lot of units of measurement, and you can add more unit of measurements, okay, over here. Again, this item thickness is not part of ERPNext. We have just customized it, okay, for other purposes. Okay, then you have the item category. So basically, the good thing here, you can have also item category, you can also have an item group, okay. And if you come here down, we have done also the withholding. So based on the item, the system can understand which type of withholding is applicable. Is it withholding tax or withholding VAT, or both? Because if it's a service item, then both will apply. And if it is a service item, basically we don't have to maintain stock. We uncheck this, okay. But if it is a stockable item, it's a product, then withholding tax is 0 and withholding VAT will apply, okay. Here you have the description, where you can describe the item. You can also put a brand name for the item. You see, now in one item, if you see, you have a lot of things to tag. Example, description, the brand, okay, the item category, the item group, okay, the item name, and the item code. Now all these things that you are inputting or becomes part of an item definition, you can basically search with that. So searching an item in a document becomes very, very, very simple and easy. You can reach to the item even by typing any word which the item contains. Okay. And then here, one of the features also, we have the unit of measurements in the item, where you can define conversion factors. Example, you have a carton. In the carton you have 12 pieces, okay. So you can say, okay, one carton contains 12 pieces. Or you have, example, a carton. Inside the carton there are boxes. Inside the boxes there are 12 pieces. Each box contains 12 pieces, and each carton contains 12 boxes. Also you can define the unit of measurement, okay. This helps you now in buying and selling. Maybe you are buying in cartons, but you are selling in pieces, okay. So it breaks the carton into pieces for you. So this is where we define the item. Then if we come here to the tabs above, we have inventory, okay. So again, in many like example, if it's a fresh produce or something, you can have the shelf life in days. We can define for an item. The weight per unit, it helps a lot, okay. The valuation method of an item. So these are the 3 valuation methods that ERPNext actually supports. You have FIFO, moving average, and LIFO. Okay, we are not going into the details. What does FIFO do? What does moving average do? What does LIFO do? You can Google it and understand. As we are just explaining now the stock module and how it can be used in any organization. Now here also you can define multiple barcodes, okay. You see, now here when I define the barcode, okay, I can define a barcode. I can define the type of the barcode. You see how many types does it support, and this barcode is applicable for which unit of measurement of the product. Example, coming back to the same example, you have carton. you have boxes and you have pieces. So in the carton, barcode might be different than the barcode of the box, and the pieces barcode might be different than the barcode of the box itself and the carton. So you can have different barcodes for different units of measurement as well. You can also define the reorder level. Okay, over here. So the reorder level can be defined, and it can be defined also per each warehouse. Example, you have 3-4 warehouses, and you want to define for this item a reorder level. So when you say, example, I want to define reorder level for my finished goods warehouse, and I come and say my reorder is 300, and reorder, or let's say 100, and my reorder is 300. Okay, so what does this mean? Now when I set up like this, means when my stock reaches 100 pieces, the system is instructing me to reorder for more 300. Okay, and it will raise for me a document called material request of type purchase. So immediately I come to know now that I have to buy, there will be a material request. So now the procurement department should take this material request inside the system and convert it into an LPO, or a request for quotation, and the supplier now can supply. Okay, so yeah, so this is now the reorder. It also supports batch. Okay, I can have batch and I can have serial number. Because this item has already transactions, I'm not able to enable the batch and serial number. But if I take a new item over here, I can come to the inventory, and here I can say I need batch. Okay, in manufacturing or in pharmaceutical, actually batches are used. Okay, so if we are in pharmaceutical, it's very important to have a batch and also expiry date, even with those products which has the shelf time. Okay, example like any fresh produce, or like in bakeries producing bread and so on, anything that has an expiry, I can enable this. Okay, so that when I'm producing, the system automatically asks me now what's the batch number and when is the expiry. Now let's come to the serial number. I can also define serial number. This is also a very good feature. You see, example, in electronics or machinery, there are always serial numbers, and based on the serial numbers, now you are able to sell and track your warranty as well. Okay, an example, a Samsung phone can be bought by any supplier in the market. There are many suppliers of Samsung phone, okay, or any phone. Now when I sell this phone, so as a company, when I sell this phone, I have to put the serial number. Okay, so instead of putting it manually in writing, I can capture it when I'm buying the phone, and I capture it when I'm selling the phone. So when there is any return, I can trace back that yes, this phone was bought by from me. Okay, so the system does it for you. Okay, then here again you have the tax. So for the tax, let me take a different item over here and I show you. So once you define the item, automatically this item tax table gets populated. Okay, and this is where it understands that is this item vatable or it's not vatable. Example, so if this item I'm selling it locally, apply 16%. If this item I'm purchasing it locally, apply 16%. If I'm exporting, then it's exempted. If I'm importing, maybe it's exempted or maybe it's vatable. So it depends, we'll do the setting accordingly. And then there is something called zero rated or exempt or no VAT. Okay, now those categories over here, remember them, they are we are going to tag these categories with my customers and my suppliers. Okay, so if my customer is a local customer, I'll tag his category to local sales. So when I'm selling to that customer, it will check if he's a local sales, it will apply 16% as VAT for this item. So in one invoice you can have things that are vatable and also non-vatable. Okay, it's very dynamic. Tomorrow if you want to change the tax, you can go to the template directly and change the percentage and give it an effective date, so it will change for you the taxation for it. Okay, So this is where now you define the items. Again, those items you can filter them either by item group. From here you want to check the critical care items, it will give you the critical care items. Okay, so like this, now you can have multiple filters over here, okay, to check your items. So back to the stock module. Okay, you can also make a product bundle. Now what's a product bundle? Okay, so if I come, like example, I have set up one product bundle called ICU room setup with minimum requirements. Example, this is an example of a pharmaceutical company. They sell equipments for hospitals or for clinics. So over here they have different type of ICU room setup depending on what machinery they are going to provide for those ICU rooms. Okay, so here we have defined, like example, there is a bedside monitor 1, blood pressure machine 1, and a ventilator machine 1. So if I'm going to sell an ICU room setup, okay, with this item code, it will automatically pick for me all these 3 items together. This is an product bundle. Another type of product bundle, let's say there is a festival coming. Okay, let's say it's Easter or New Year or Christmas or whatever. Okay, so I'm into retail business and I want to define a bundle. Let's say different type of perfumes along with a t-shirt, and also I can define it as one bundle and I give it a price and I sell it. So I don't have to scan each and every item. I just scan the bundle code and it will pick all the items into my invoice. So this is an example of item bundles that the system can define. Okay, shipping rules, a very good feature over here. Okay, which most ERPs also lack. Okay, and they do some manual work around it. Shipping rules is basically what are my shipping charges for delivering an item to a customer. Okay, let's say a customer needs the goods to be shipped. Now when I say ship, it's not necessary by a ship or a vessel. It could be even by a car or by a truck. Okay, so I can define the rules over here, shipping rules. Okay, and I can have even shipping rules for each item. Okay, or based, you see the calculation is based on the net or the total or by the weight or a fixed rate. Okay, I can have it here, and I can also tag it with a shipping account because that revenue that has to go to a shipping account. Okay, and yeah, so this is how I define my shipping rules, whether I'm in the selling process or in the buying process. Okay, and then this will apply once I'm doing the invoices and if the customer decides that yes, I need this product along with shipping. Another really good feature is alternate items. So I'll go back to the over here to the item details. Okay, you see here we have allow alternate items. If I check this, means I can have an alternate of this item. Example, in manufacturing. Okay, let's say manufacturing of plastic, just an example. It could be applied for any manufacturing domain. So let's say in plastic I use the resins. Okay, plastic resins for making different products. So I have plastic resins color black and I have plastic resins color white. Okay, so my BOM says, when I define a BOM, it says okay, use plastic resins color black, but my black is over, I don't have it in stock. So me as a manufacturer, I know that I can also use white instead of black, and then I add a black color. It's just an example. Okay, so if I allow this alternate item and I set up an alternate item of resins white instead of black, then the system directly will suggest me, you have an alternate item, use it in the manufacturing. So you see, as a company now, I don't have to remember, or as a production manager or as a user, I don't have to remember each and everything. The system will prompt me. Okay, and this increases the efficiency in the processes. Okay, so yeah, this is now how we define alternate items. Now we have done the serial number. Okay, now let's come to the transaction of the stocks. Okay, stock transactions. So here when we come to the stock transactions, okay, the stock module is connected with the other modules. See, ERPNext has 4 core modules. Okay, I defined it as core modules, not ERPNext, but I call them core modules. In Aqiq solution, we call them core modules, which work with each other. Okay, like example, you have financial management, sales, stock, and procurement. Okay, even now if you look at the screen, you will find there is a delivery note. Now delivery note is part of the stock because it reduces stock, but it completes for you the sales module, so it's part of the sales module as well. When you talk about purchase receipt, or it's also known in the industry as GRN, goods receipt note, so you will find goods receipt note is increasing your stock when you receive it. Okay, but at the same time it completes the procurement cycle. So you will find that it is connected with procurement, and also delivery note is connected with the sales as it reduces your stock. And definitely both will have a financial effect. When you reduce the stock as quantity, it also has to reduce as value. When you increase the stock as quantity, you have to increase the value. So again, it's connected with the financial module. So you will find all those 4 modules, stock, procurement, sales, and financial module, they are connected with each other. That's why we call them the core modules of the system. Okay, so let's go to the material request and we check what is it. So a material request is basically when we are requesting a material. Okay, it shows you all the type of requests over here, all the requests that we had done. Okay, and you will see there are status over here showing you whether I have requested for material, is it pending, is it received, is it partially received, it's still in draft mode. This material I requested, it was already issued. Okay, I requested the material to be transferred, so it's already transferred, it's not pending like this. Okay, so a person who initiates a material request can really know the status of each and every material request. In many organizations you will find people request material, they print a paper and take it to the different departments, and then they have to run around departments checking what's the status of each request. Here you don't have to do that. Okay, you don't have to even pick the phone, it's just here showing you all the status, and you can filter from here. So if I want to see all my pending, just click on pending, it will give you all the pending here. You see, if I want to see what's partially received, just say partially received, it will give you that there are 2 partially received, means where is the rest, then I can follow up. Okay, there is a smart filter here. If I just click on pending here instead of going to the status, it filters for you directly the pending. You see, then I can remove the filter from here by clicking on this X. I cancel the filter. Okay, so let's have a look at the screen how it looks like. So you have the the purpose of the material request. Now when I request a material, okay, I have to give a purpose. Why am I requesting for the material? So is it for buying it? I don't have in stock, so let's say the warehouse manager is requesting it, so that has to be bought. Or it's a transfer. Let's say one warehouse wants to transfer to another warehouse, so I'm doing a material transfer. Or a shop is requesting the warehouse to for a transfer, so I'm doing a transfer. Material issue means I'm issuing the material. Kindly issue for me this material. Okay, when I issue means it's going out of my warehouse directly. It's not a transfer from one warehouse to other warehouse. And then there is customer provided. Okay, and also there is manufacturing. This we'll cover it in the manufacturing module, why it's called manufacturing. Okay, so this is basically now the different type of material request that a person has to request, or a warehouse manager will request, or the manufacturing department will request. Okay, so and you can also have a print format for it. This is a default print format. Okay, again this can be customized. If I come here, MR by warehouse, so this is some of the customization that we have done. Okay, so this is the material request with a few color combinations. So yeah, so this is now my material request. Okay, back to the stock module. Now once I did the request, if it is for purchase, it will go to the procurement, then the rest of the cycle will follow in the procurement or in the buying module. If it is of type transfer, then again the stock module will have to do a stock entry over here for the transfer. Okay, so you find these are all the transfers example. So here if I do a stock entry of type transfer, okay, you will find here the stock entry of different types. Now the first one was a stock request. It's a material request. I'm requesting. So I'm requesting for transfer. So if I'm requesting for transfer means my stock entry now should be of material transfer. Okay, now when I say material transfer, I don't have to remember what am I transferring or what I want to transfer. You see here we have get items from material request, and it will show you all those type of transfers. So if I click here, example this one, immediately it will bring me the item. See how? So it's just about selecting the type or the purpose of the material of the stock request, okay, and directly it brings for you the item here, it populates it, and then you you save and submit, so that now it becomes a transfer for you. The other good part over here, okay, if we go to the material to the stock entry here, okay, let me show you of type material transfer. We have something called add to transit. This is again a very good feature over here. Okay, you see when I do a stock entry of type transfer without add to transit, it directly reduces from warehouse A and increases in warehouse B immediately as I save and submit this document. But if I say add to transit, what happens? It takes the material from warehouse A and puts it in a virtual warehouse called transit warehouse. Then the destination warehouse, which is called the warehouse B, they have to end the transit and accept the material. Because sometimes not necessarily all the materials that have transferred has been received by warehouse B. There might be theft or damaged or anything that's happening in the transit, okay? So there has to be an accountability for it. Okay, so this is how the system gives you proper control on your stocks. And remember, stock is very crucial for any organization, okay, because that is the value and that is where you are going to generate profit or you are going to lose. Okay, so this was the stock entry. Again, different type of stock entries over here. Okay, we also have here one type called repack. Very important, very nice feature here. You see, when I say repack, means I can bring it from BOM. Again, I will also explain this more when we go to the manufacturing, but some very small manufacturing companies, they cannot afford to go and implement the whole manufacturing cycle. They don't have the capacity in terms of finances and resources as well. So they can use repack. Repack means make for me a product from those ingredients. Okay, example, I want to make an example of something. I want to make a uniform. Okay, so what will the uniform require? Well, the uniform will require 3 meters of cloth, some threads, and some buttons. Okay, so what will I do? I will say repack. Okay, I'll come here and select my source warehouse. So my source warehouse will be maybe a raw material warehouse, okay, or stores maybe. And I'll select my items here, maybe the cloth, okay, and I'll select here again the store warehouse, and I'll select threads, okay, and then over here I'll come and say my target warehouse is my finished goods, and I want to produce uniform. Okay, you see already even the available quantity it gives me. You see, as I select stores and my raw material, it gives me the available quantity. Okay, so let's say to produce one cloth or one uniform, I need 3 meters of my cloth and one thread. Okay, just an example, and you save. So as you save, what will happen? It will directly reduce for me the raw material and increase for me the finished goods. And whatever the cost is for the 3 meters of my cloth and the thread, that cost will become the cost of my finished goods. So it's just in one entry. Basically you are making a repack from one item or multiple items. You are creating one item. Okay, it can be used this way as well. Okay, or sometimes repacking can be used for actually packing an item. I have this finished goods and I want to add more material, packaging material into it, so it becomes another material for me. Okay, this way we can manage it in the repack. So this is how we do the transactions over here. And then we have the purchase receipt note or the delivery note. Let's take the delivery note. Delivery note, basically it's a completion of the sales cycle. Let me explain it here, but the details will come when we do the sales cycle. So this is the deliveries as you see here. Now there is one thing I want to mention here. We have here something called dispatch status, which is showing all are pending. Actually this is we have done a small development for some of our clients, in which if you print the delivery note, we are displaying here a QR code. Okay, so at the gate, when the truck is exiting the gate, basically the askari or the watchman, he has a handheld scanner, which is a Bluetooth connected to a device. He just scans the delivery note. So as he scans the delivery note, it updates the system and it brings here the dispatch as done, dispatched. Instead of pending, it will show that it has been dispatched. Okay, so I'm just letting you know how Aqiq solution adds value to the system and as well as the implementation. Okay, so it makes easy for the customer to manage their operations. Now coming here to the back to our stock module. Okay, it also has something called delivery trip. Delivery trip also helps if you have multiple deliveries across the route. So what you can do is basically you can select the driver, you can select the vehicle that you have. Okay, and then what time is the estimated time for departure and the customer. Every customer here you will select. Okay, and you will select the delivery note. Okay, so if there is any pending delivery note here, you will select. Okay, if it doesn't have, then it won't show any delivery notes here. Okay, it will show. So now once you select the delivery notes, it gives you a proper route. It calculates for you, it gives you a route plan and for all the deliveries over here. Okay, so this is how you make a delivery trip. Also there is something over here. We have a very good feature of packing list. You can also have a packing list. Okay, you see, when you have a big item, or especially a manufacturers, or when you're exporting, the demand for you to have a packing list, that is you stick it on the package itself. So the packing list says, okay, in this packet, the whole pallet, or maybe it's a pallet, it's packed, so the pallet contains so many items. Okay, so here also you can have a packing list done, and you can print. It will print a very good packing list for you. Okay, again, the print layouts is customizable. Let's here discuss about stock reconciliation. Very good feature that every organization needs it. So here we reconcile the stock. Reconciling the stock means we have to get a proper count of the stock, physical versus what is there in the system. Okay, sometimes there are some discrimination, okay, or differences due to many reasons. Okay, could be some damages you have not recorded. Sometimes there are returns which has been not recorded. Sometimes there are theft which it's discovered only when we do the stock take. Okay, so here if we do the stock reconciliation, okay, we can do it per warehouse also, and you can select the purpose here, stock reconciliation. If I select opening balance, then when we are starting the system first time, we use the opening balance, then we don't have to use it. We don't suggest or recommend to use it. We just use it for the first time when we are doing the opening stocks. Otherwise we use stock reconciliation to reconcile. Okay, so if I select here example the warehouse, let's say I'm selecting stores as my warehouse, I can also fetch all the items from that warehouse. Okay, so I can say fetch for me everything from stores, all the items I update, so it will go and fetch for me all the items that I have and the current quantity that I have. Okay, the current quantity and I have, and the rate, the valuation rate of that item, it captures it over here. Now if I want any changes, let's say I'm doing my physical take and I saw these bulbs are not 19 but they are 18, so I just keep it as 18. Now as I have kept it as 18, you will find here there is a difference. If I save this document, let me save it. You see, I changed only this item, so it will keep for me the item that I have changed the quantity in it. The remaining items, it removes it. You see how smart the system helps you. You don't have to remember. Or if you don't want to load all the items together at the first go, you just have to scan. You see there is a barcode scan here. Okay, using the handheld or a smart reader, we help you to procure those, or even you can just scan and it will pick the item over here. Okay, you see the difference is now minus 60,000. Okay, because the bulb was costing maybe 60,000, so it's giving you the minus 60,000. That is because there was -1, and it goes to the stock adjustment account. Okay, this is still in draft, so there is no effect, but if I submit, then it will affect the stocks as well. Okay, so this is the stock reconciliation, and then here we have the landed cost. Landed cost voucher is really an excellent tool in ERPNext, and Aqiq solution have developed this landed cost to ease the operation, okay, and to serve the purpose of arriving to a landed cost for each and every item. So what does the landed cost do? Let me give you an example. You see, when you do imports, okay, or maybe sometimes it's a local purchase as well, okay, you buy an item from the supplier, the item is costing, example, 1,000 shillings, okay, and there are extra costs associated with the item, okay. Example, there is freight, there is insurance, there is transportation, there is IDF, duty, okay, etc. There are many costs that you keep on spending, okay, and by end of the day you want to know the cost for this item. It's not 1,000 shilling actually. 1,000 shilling is the supplier cost that have been given to the customer, but there are all the other costs, okay, and this 1,000 shilling plus the other cost, let's say the other cost is coming to 500, so my landed cost is 1,500. Okay, so my cost of the item should be 1,500 and not 1,000. Okay, so what does the landed cost do? You see, as I keep on spending, I know that I have a shipment, and for that shipment now I'm starting paying IDF, I'm paying the duty, I'm paying transport, I'm paying insurance. Okay, in the real scenario, sometimes you get the goods, okay, and you have not got the invoices. You paid, you made an advance payment, but you have not got the invoices. So I'm booking the actual cost in the system as 1,000, and I'll start selling. So as I sell, you will find my profit margin is high and my cost is less, it's 1,000. Okay, but the fact is there is some other cost which is amounting to 500. It has to be factored. So as I keep on posting my invoices, okay, at the end of the day, end of the month, after 2 months, okay, I come to the landed cost voucher, I write my shipment number. All the costs related to that shipment has to be tagged with a shipment number. Okay, you see, as I selected the shipment number, it will fetch for me my my purchase receipt, the items that I have received, okay, and what other charges have I paid. Let's say I've paid freight and forwarding to 60,000, so it's actually capturing it here. Okay, now it's going to add the 260,000 on the 25,000. Okay, and I can apportion the amount, or I can distribute those amount of my charge either based on quantity or amount, or I distribute it manually. Now currently I only have one item, so any of these is okay, but when I have multiple items over here in one purchase, then I can say whether I want to distribute it based on quantity or based on amount, or I distribute it manually. So as I save this document, what will happen? The system will smartly go and add this cost to my actual cost of the item. Now the question comes, it has been 2 weeks and I'm already started selling the item at a cost of 1,000, and today I'm adding the 500 on the 1,000. So what will happen for the 2 weeks transaction? The system goes backwards and recalculates the cost and does a reposting in the background, so you don't have to worry and pass any JVs. Unlike other systems, we know it's really hard, especially for those companies who have heavy imports. The accountant is always after getting the cost and updating the cost, and the salespeople just want to sell, which they have the right, because they have the stock lying there, they cannot keep it, there is a demand and they have to sell it. So just don't worry, just keep on selling it, and later you can update the cost, it will go reversely and calculate for you the costing. Now the only thing that you have to remember here, the 2 weeks when you have sold at a lesser cost, your P&L will show a profit at a higher rate, and then once it does the reposting and recalculation again of the cost, the profit will go down. So only this area somebody have to take care of it. Okay, then we have reports over here. You can see a lot of options over here. Okay, you can see very quickly your stock balances. There is quality inspection as well. Like if I have an item and I mark it, it needs an inspection. So as I do a receipt, the system will ask you to inspect the item, and it loads a template where you have to, you see here, if I come, I have to define a quality inspection template. Okay, I have to give the parameters, I have to define the parameters and the criteria and what's the minimum value and maximum value. Okay, and then as I have the quality, the goods arriving, a quality inspection will be triggered, and then I have to do the quality inspection. I have to write the item, if there is a serial number, or it will load the item. Okay, you see there is a sample size as well. So let's say sample size helps because it's a quantity basically, but if you are buying sugar or rice or anything, I want to just do sample test, or maybe oil in bulk, so I have to do sample. So I'll write how much sample I've taken, what is the quality inspection template, I have to select the template, and then I put my parameters and save. Okay, so it helps also in the manufacturing process. It helps also if I'm doing import or exports, and whenever I'm buying or selling, it needs a quality inspection. Here we have the reports. Okay, reports are many. Again, the reports can be customized. So if I go to this stock analysis report example, okay, you will find this a stock analysis report showing you all the items, and monthly what is the value of the item that I have sold. Okay, over here, sorry, not sold, but the items, the value of the items I have in stock. Okay, if I say quantity, then it can change to quantity. You see from the report itself, I'm changing the parameters of the report, and immediately the report is being updated. Okay, and here if I select over here, I want to compare any two items. It's very simple. I come here and I compare. Okay, so let me come here and I compare the items. Okay, you see as I selected these two items, it started comparing me for all the items in the graph. Okay, this is monthly. If I say yearly, then it can give me yearly. Give me 2024, 2025. Okay, if I come and say I want it quarterly, then it will give me quarterly. Based on the period I'm selecting here, it will divide it into the quarters. See, quarter 1, 2024, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, and again quarter 1, 2025, because I've selected up to 1st of Jan. Okay, again here there are many slice and dice parameters. So these are the items. Let's say I want group, I want to get one group of items, so I can come and say, for example, raw materials. So it will only give me raw materials, a group of raw materials, and it will give me the analysis on the raw materials. Okay, if I want to filter by item, also I can filter by item. So if you can see here, it's really good. It's something that helps you to analyze your stocks, Okay, other reports available are delivery note trends. It shows you the trends of the delivery note. There is nothing to show here because it's 2025. Let me make the fiscal year 2024. So here it shows you monthly for items, and it shows you the quantities I have delivered. Let me just scroll here. So you see these are the quantities and the amounts, quantities and amounts monthly. So it gives you a proper analysis. At least this analysis, many companies, it helps them. They see the peak months where they have maximum deliveries, so they know they want to plan for logistics or something like that. Okay, it really helps. Okay, those trend reports or analytical reports. Okay, then basically you have the other reports like the aging report. Okay, so we can also have the aging report, stock aging. Okay, so if you see here, the aging is also, I can put the aging slabs here. Okay, I can take aging per warehouse if I want. Okay, or it will show me all the warehouses here. Okay, currently it's showing me overall in my company and what's the aging. Okay, so it shows you the aging. And by the way, any reports, it can be exported to, you can come here and say export to Excel or CSV. Okay, directly it will export and download it for you. So those are the reports now currently in ERPNext. All those reports are available. So by this actually we and then you have the stock ledger, stock summary. Okay, warehouse wise stock balances. Those are all default reports already available inside the system. Okay, you see it shows you all the warehouses and what is the stock balances available for each warehouse over here. Okay, so yeah, these are now the basically and then also here I want to show here something. Okay, that actually we had also developed something called analysis multi-level reports. Okay, and this will be covered in the sales because it is related to sales. It's really a good multi-dimensional report, so you can follow our sales video, so we can explain this in details. Okay, so yeah, so this was about the stock module. I hope you enjoyed, you got a fair idea of how it covers end-to-end operation so far the stocks inventory management is concerned. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can reach us out. You have the details in this video. Also in the comments you will have the details. You can reach us out and we will definitely assist you in proper analysis, in proper study, and what do you need, which modules do you need, and then we can engage further. Thank you, and you can watch our other videos for the other modules as well. Thank you very much, and bye.